Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. By subscribing, you'll get access to more videos packed with valuable content on financial intelligence.
Hello, this is John Weisstrom with the Nightingale Conant Corporation. Today we're in the studio with Robert Kiyosaki, best-selling author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and today we'll be discussing the business of network marketing. And although Robert won't be speaking on behalf of any one particular network marketing organization, he will be discussing the 8 values of the network marketing business and why a person should or should not join a network marketing organization. He'll also give us the reasons why, as a rich person, he recommends people get into the business of network marketing. Hi, Robert. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you. I'm glad to be with you.
Robert, I'd like to jump right in and ask you, you have these 8 values of the network marketing business. What is value number 1?
Well, I think value number 1 is probably the most important reason, I work with Nightingale Conant, as well as so many network marketing organizations. And correctly, as you say, I do not speak at this time for any one organization, but I speak for the industry as a whole. So I'm not trying to pump one company or the other company. Okay. I want to be as neutral as possible. But to me, value number 1 is life-changing business education. And I think that is one of the hidden values, other than the possibility of making a lot of money for joining a network marketing business. It is the life-changing business education. I mean, how many of you out there are looking to make some big changes in your life? How many of you out there may be tired of working in a dead-end job, or going paycheck to paycheck, or playing it too safe, or being more or less corralled by your peers telling you, don't make any mistakes, don't make any changes? So really, I support the network marketing industry because it supports individuals who are ready to make changes in their life, rather than just going from paycheck to paycheck or job to job. But before I go on, I'd like to give you a little of my history and my background and how I came to work with Nightingale Conant.
Sure.
Back in 1974, when I got out of the Marine Corps, I had to make a decision whether or not to follow my poor dad's advice. And my poor dad was a very intelligent man. He was head of education for the state of Hawaii. A good, hardworking man. But I call him my poor dad simply because no matter how much money he made, he was broke at the end of every month. And he kept saying to me the same advice many of us have heard: go to school, get good grades, get a good job, work hard, save money, buy a big house. And when I came back from Vietnam, my poor dad at that time, although he was very successful, went to University of Chicago, Stanford, Northwestern, he was out of a job. And the reason he was out of a job was because he was more or less downsized. And the reason he was downsized was because, being a very honest man, he made the tragic mistake of running for lieutenant governor against the governor of the state of Hawaii. And as most of us know, the rules of government don't necessarily play always above board, above the table. Mm-hmm. And because he ran against his boss, the governor, he was then told he would never get a job in state government again. So here's a man, 50-something years old, dedicated public servant, a government employee, and he followed the rules of go to school, get good grades, and he did have great grades, work hard, study hard, and find a safe, secure job. But it didn't work for him. And even though it didn't work for him, he kept telling me to do the same thing. Go to school, get good grades, get a safe, secure job, save money, and play it safe. So here he is without work. He was forced to sort of liquidate his retirement account because he needed money to survive on. He bought one of those franchises that you can't lose, and a very famous ice cream franchise, and he lost. And he lost nearly all of his retirement money. He took it out early. So here he is, and he's 50 years old. I'm just back from Vietnam. I was a Marine helicopter pilot, and he's telling me the same old stuff, even though it stopped working. Go to school, get good grades, work hard, save money. So the reason I support Nightingale Conant network marketing, as well as your ongoing education for those who are willing to make the changes, is because we no longer live in the industrial age. Because my dad had industrial age thinking, which is go to school, get good grades, work hard, job security, a company will take care of you. Well, we all know that's not true today. Companies are not going to take care of you. They'll downsize you even if you have 14, 15 years with a company. So the rules have changed. We're in the information age, and we need more information. I think the fortunate thing for me was that when I came back from Vietnam, I realized I need more education. I mean, I had a Bachelor of Science degree, but it wasn't worth anything. I couldn't even get a job that I wanted. The economy was bad, And my old man kept saying, go get a job. I said, this is ridiculous. I stopped working for you. Why are you telling me to do that? And at that point, I decided I'd better listen to my rich dad. And my rich dad said, build businesses. So here I'm a college graduate. My degree is worth less. And I need new information. So I went to one of these big rallies in Honolulu, Hawaii, at the Honolulu International Center. And it was the first time I ever saw one of these huge, people call them motivational talks, but they're more than motivational. They're educational as well as philosophical, as well as motivational. I remember seeing W. Clement Stone, and I went, wow, these guys stand up there, and these are captains of industries. They're not school teachers like I've been used to. They're not like my boss who's a sales manager. These guys are leaders of their industry. And W. Clement Stone formed Combined Insurance. That day I sat there, I think I paid $60 for the ticket. I was a junior sales rep at that time for the Xerox Corporation, looking for new education, new information for a new direction in my life. And W. Clement Stone just, man, he blew me away. Here's this old man telling me things that my rich dad said, but my poor dad didn't. About the importance of being independent, being brave, going against the grain sometimes, taking risks, building a company, being rich. And I said, nobody ever tells me that stuff. So the reason I support Nightingale Conant is because Nightingale Conant has an inventory of some of the greatest masters on planet Earth for those of you who are willing to break away from the path, to take a separate path, to follow your own drummer. So you have people like Dale Carnegie. What a great, great man. Dale Carnegie has a leadership course, a whole tape set on that. And I bought that set. It was fabulous. But the one that really changed my mind was the one by Earl Nightingale called Lead the Field. Here I am, a junior sales rep, driving around town for the Xerox Corporation, listening to Earl Nightingale teaching me to be a leader. And I'm going, this is great stuff. So the reason I support network marketing businesses, most of them, not all of them, because there's good ones and bad ones, and Nightingale Conant is because they're basically educational companies. They're business educational companies for those individuals who want to go off and do it on their own, to be the rugged individual and learn to do things differently than what our school system teaches. Because after all, we are no longer in the industrial age. Job security is obsolete. 401ks are risky. Stock markets go up and stock markets go down. So it really is important that both network marketing companies, some of them, and Nightingale Conant have some of the great leaders, some of the great mentors, some of the new forward thinkers that people need for business education. So in a long way, the number one value, the reason I support, is because so many network marketing companies provide the business education for the future. It's the business education for those who want to change where they come from and where they're going to.
So that's primarily why a person should get into a network marketing organization. It's not for the products. The money would be nice, but it's primarily for the education and the experience that a person gains.
Yes, and one more thing. Obviously, they want to make a change in their lives.
You want to make a change.
Maybe they're stuck of doing the same old job or tired of going from job to job. And, they say, look, I might need new friends. I need new ideas, new people to talk to. Some of the network marketing companies I've seen, their educational programs are spectacular. The mistake I think many people make is they look at the product. Oh, it's vitamins, or it's healthcare products, or weight loss products, or telephone services. And the great thing about network marketing today, there's all kinds of products. There's real estate, there's financial services. So there's great products. But the most important thing I'd ask a person to look for is go beyond the products. Look at the educational program. Look at the life-changing business education and the support they have to support you make those changes. What I say to most people, you don't change overnight from an employee to a business owner or a self-employed person to business owner. I'd allow yourself 5 years. Hang out with people that want to go with you, people that will support you, who have leaders at the top of you whose primarily job is to pull you up, not keep you down, stuck in your job. And that's what you're looking for. It's the best education in the world.
Okay, well, let me ask you, Robert, exactly how do I find out if the company that I potentially may join has a strong leadership? How do I find out if they do have these educational programs? What should I be looking out for?
I think the number one thing is ask them, what is your educational program? How much support do you have? What kind of meetings do you have? What kind of educational products do you have? If they're just trying to teach you to, let's say I have a new flower fertilizer or something, and they want to teach you how to sell it. They're teaching you to be a salesperson, or what I call the S quadrant, self-employed or small business quadrant. They're not training you to be in the B quadrant, the business owner. As for those who read my second book, Cash Flow Quadrant, there's employees with the E quadrant, self-employed or small business, S quadrant, business owner, which is the B quadrant, that's where most network marketing companies are, and the I quadrant for investor. So the first thing you ask them is, go to their meetings, keep an open mind, look at the leaders. Who are they? What do they stress? Is it to sell a product or to develop yourself as a better person? Are they more interested in you selling for them or developing you? Those are some of the gut, kind of instinctive things you have. Another thing I say is look to the leaders first, because many times in network marketing businesses, they have a lot of people who are just starting out and, they're in the same boat you are. Mm-hmm. What you want to check out is who are the leaders, where they come from, and how committed are they to you becoming like them.
And make sure they want to develop me as a person first before developing their product and going out there and selling it.
That's correct. So the way I came across network marketing, I had a negative reaction to it. In the 1970s, when I was looking for new education and new answers, somebody says, I'd like to show you a business opportunity. So I went to this meeting and I sat down there and I listened to it, and that was the first time I ever heard the word network marketing. So I wasn't turned off, but I was turned off a little later on when I realized that I really didn't understand what they're trying to say to me. And then I walked out of the meeting simply because I can build a business. The reason I had a rich dad, the reason I build corporations today is because my rich dad trained me to be a B quadrant individual. So I was a little turned off, but I also really didn't respect the education they were offering because I kind of already had it. But I'll just say one thing. Why I was attracted to the business was the word network or networking. And let me just say this about that word. I talk a lot about the power of words. Words are very, very important. There's words of rich people and words of poor people. Having two dads, I realized that both dads spoke the English language, but they didn't speak the same words. My dad spoke the language, or had the vocabulary of a school teacher, German, geometry, trigonometry. And my rich dad had the words of a business owner, discounted cash flow, internal rates of return, and things like this. They're different words. So my rich dad really respected the word network. What he said to me was this: the richest people in the world build networks. Everybody else looks for work. And the reason he said network was such an powerful word, you look at John D. Rockefeller, founder of Standard Oil. What he did was he built a network of refineries, distribution, as well as gas stations. That's why he was such a rich man. Again, I'll say it, for rich people, the word network is a very, very good word. So when I heard network marketing, I was turned on. You look at when they call it a television network. The richest people own networks. General Motors is a network of car dealerships. That's why they're such a powerful company. So I'll say this again. For the rich, the word network is a very powerful word. For many people who are like me at the start, kind of turned off by the word network marketing, they really don't know what they're looking at. What they do not see is they're looking at an opportunity to build one of the most powerful businesses in the world, a network marketing business. And so it is in the word. I saw that, but I didn't respect it simply because I kind of understood it. I was starting to build my own network of, I had a nylon Velcro wallet business, and I was building my network of distributors and retail outlets throughout the U.S. I understand the power of networks. The average person doesn't.
I never looked at it that way before. That's a great point. Let me ask you, Robert, you keep mentioning the cash flow quadrant and the importance of the B and the I side. What is the cash flow quadrant, and how does that tie into your value number 2?
Okay, cash flow quadrant is about the 4 different people found in business. The 4 people that make up the world of business, the biggest number are E quadrants, which is employee. My rich dad said you can always tell an employee because they always say the same thing. I'm looking for a safe, secure job with benefits. But they're looking at the core for security. Okay. The S quadrant is the self-employed, small business, or specialist. Those are often the doctors or plumbers, electricians, small retail outlets. These are the rugged individuals. When they say, I'm going to quit this job and go out on my own and do my own thing, they generally go from E to S, and they stay small. It's one of the hardest quadrants because the employees pick on you as well as the government. You have tax problems and employee problems. And the problem with the S quadrant is that you can't quit working. In other words, you don't own a business, you own a job. Like a dentist, if most dentists stop drilling, their income stops also. So that's why they're small business versus the B quadrant with big business. Big business are people like Bill Gates, Michael Dell, Henry Ford, John D. Rockefeller. They build networks and networks of systems. They hire smart people, and they can do more and more while working less and less. The problem with the employee side, the left side of the quadrant, and the self-employed, also on the self-employed side, is in order for them to make more money, they often have to work harder. That's why the income potential for the E and S side is often capped or limited.
Okay.
That's why many times most people in the S quadrant cap out at around 110, 125,000. Now that's not bad. And most of the E quadrant, oftentimes the average guy is happy to make 50,000. The B side, the big business owner, they're unlimited. The B quadrant makes more money than rock stars, sports stars, movie stars. While the E and the S are happy to make millions, the B side can go for the billions, because the B quadrant, which is where most network marketing companies are, their income potential is virtually unlimited because networks are unlimited. The I quadrant is the investor. That's the person who takes money and makes their money work harder than they do. So unfortunately, our school system still trains people primarily for the S quadrant, go to school and get a job, job skills, or trade skills, the S quadrant, doctor, lawyer, plumber, electrician. Network marketing trains people for the B quadrant, and that is the richest quadrant in the world. I'm not saying you have to want to be rich. This is what I'm going to say here. If you want to change, what you want to do is change quadrants. In other words, you don't want to go from job to job, which is the E quadrant, or E to S, which is my rich dad called psycho S, because you had to be Superman or a soloist, or you have to be a real star. It's hard. Like Tiger Woods is a star, not too many guys are going to beat Tiger Woods. So he said you have a better chance to be successful and rich in the B quadrant. So network marketing companies, the good ones, they have educational programs that take you from the E and the S to the B side. And as I said earlier, that's not an overnight process. It really is a change of core values, a different way of looking at things, a different context, a different paradigm. So once you find a company you want to hang out with or work with, allow yourself at least 5 years. Give yourself the time, hang out with new people, gain new skills, new realities, new values, and make that change slowly. I wouldn't expect to do it overnight. It took me years to make that change, because I came from a family that really believed in high education and job security. It was a value they had. It was not my rich dad's values. So that's what I mean by the difference between the E, S, and the B and the I. The beauty of a network marketing corporation, when people ask me, how do I make the change from the left side, the E and S side, to the B and I side, I say one of the best things you can do is join a network marketing corporation, simply because they'll change you from the inside as well as the outside. They'll have the support to have you make that change. I was fortunate that I had a rich dad and a bunch of other mentors to help me. But if you don't have that right away, then join a network marketing company. Even if you don't sell anything, hang out with them, spend time with them, go to the meetings, make new friends, and change the way you think and change the way you look at the world.
It changes your mindset from the E and the S side, and it helps you transition into the B side.
Yeah, that's very important. So the transition is more important. The beauty of a network marketing business, if you want to make $1,000 a month, good, stop there. But you also have the potential to make billions if you want to. That is the power of network. That is the power of the word network marketing. And once you can understand it and fully grasp it in your mind, your heart, and your soul, the change will be permanent and you'll never want to go back.
Which leads right into value number 3, the value of access into the B quadrant and how important it is to be in that B quadrant.
Right. When people say, I want to build my own business, I think sometimes they don't know how much money it takes, or how much skill it takes, and how much courage it takes. So the reason franchising back in the 50s and 60s became popular was because it was a low-risk, low-cost way of making that transition from E and S to B and I. So your franchise is in the B quadrant, like McDonald's or something like this. So you buy an operating system that is almost a no-fail system. Banks will lend you money for some franchises, but it won't let you money to start your own business because the failure rate is too high. So the beauty of a network marketing business is that it's low cost, probably less than $100 to maybe $300 to get in, where McDonald's is at least $1 million in a year's worth of time. So it's a low entry way for people to get the education, and like I say, the greatest value is education, to get into that quadrant. Nightingale Conant also has great products along that line too. Your inventory of great masters and great leaders is exceptional. One of the great tape sets you guys have is The Art of Exceptional Living by Jim Rohn. Beautiful, beautiful tape set. For those of you who need the inspiration, the spirit to carry on, even though sometimes you doubt yourself, Jim Rohn's work and Jim Rohn's ideas are priceless. So for those of you who are thinking about making the change, you may want to contact Nightingale Conant and look at that tape set, because it's a brilliant set to help you make those changes.
Through that 5 years, a period you said it's a learning curve that it takes, or
Well said.
A
It's that
5-year
5 years.
transition to stick with it.
Yeah.
But, you know, commitment's a scary word for guys, though.
Oh, tell
commitment
me
for
about
5
it.
years. Do you have any words of wisdom to help us with that 5-year commitment?
Number one thing is you got to find a friend who wants to go there with you. I mean, one of the best things I had was I had great friends. And it was a lonely journey because job security has its benefits, so don't get me wrong. You know, and when we said, my best friend and I, we said we're going to quit our jobs at Xerox, which are high-paying jobs, and we're going to start our own businesses. Everybody said, you two clowns are going to fail, and we did. You know, we lost our, my friend Larry Clark and I started the nylon and Velcro wallet business, and we failed. But in that failure, we found out who we were. We became stronger, and we vowed we'd never go back, even though we were broke and people were laughing at us. 10 years later, Larry Clark became Inc. magazine's Entrepreneur of the Year.
Wow.
You know, the fastest growing home builder in business, and I became the best-selling author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And the thing was, I don't think I could have made it without Larry Clark or my wife, Kim, who has been a partner in my business. You know, and my wife is just absolutely gorgeous. And I know she didn't marry me for my money, because when we got together, I didn't have any money. All we had was a dream and the courage to keep going forward in spite of no guarantees. So I would not have made it without a great wife and great friends and people to support me along the way. I think that's the most important thing. If you have friends that are holding you back, you definitely should join a network marketing company, because you need new friends.
And they all support you. That's what they're there for.
It's the emotional support that's crucial.
And Robert, just like you said, it's important to hang around like-minded individuals who support you in your goals and everything that you want to do. It's also to invest in the type of things that rich people do as opposed to poor people.
Well said.
And that would lead us into value number 4, investing in the same investments that the rich invest in.
Yes, most people are not aware that the rich don't buy the same investments the poor buy. For those who see my board game Cash Flow 101, there's the rat race and the fast track. The rat race is where the people who are buying 401ks, mutual funds, and average investments, you know, what I call retail products. The fast track of Cash Flow 101 is where the rich invest, and those are things of pre-IPO products. They're franchises, they're things like they're the high yield investments. But by law, by U.S. securities law, if you're not a millionaire, according to the 1933 securities law, if you're not a millionaire, you cannot invest in the investments of the fast track. So there really are 2 tracks.
You mean so you have to be a millionaire? The government says you have to have
By
at
law.
least a net worth of $1 million
By
to
law.
invest in these certain things?
By law.
Wow.
And so one of the beauties of a network marketing business, I said it again, if you only want to make $1,000 a month extra, fine, that's your goal. But a network marketing business provides the opportunity not only to make a lot of money, but the second most important way to get rich is they allow you to invest in the investments of the rich. If you ask any securities attorneys, they will tell you an accredited investor, by definition, is a person with $200,000 a year or more cash flow and $1 million net worth. In other words, you're not a millionaire, you can't invest in the investments of the rich. So if you're stuck in a job making $150,000 a year, you can't invest. And that's one of the ways the rich get richer, is they're allowed to invest in the investments of the rich. Many of the people I've met who are very successful in network marketing businesses, they make even more money as investors because they're investing in the investments of the rich. So that is one of the values. That's value number 4 of a network marketing business. It allows you the possibility or the potential to invest in the best investments in the world. That's what I invest in. There's another great tape set by Nightingale Conant which I recommend, and that's called The Laws of Inner Wealth by Sir John Templeton. Sir John Templeton is the founder of the Templeton Fund. Nightingale Conant has this tape set. And for those of you who understand the spirituality of money or want to and really more understand the spiritual values of investing and being wealthy, Sir John Templeton is the individual. He is the master. He is the mentor everybody should listen to. Sir John Templeton is the man who resigned from his fund, although he still guides it, and instead he's putting all of his money to spread spirituality throughout the world. So that is the power that this man, John Templeton, has, and he is on the tape set that's part of the library at Nightingale Conant. So again, I'll say it goes back to value number 1, the value of Nightingale Conant, as well as many network marketing businesses. More than wealth, it teaches you to be spiritually wealthy. My rich dad said the best way to get rich is by being generous. And what I have found, there are more people who became rich by being generous, by serving more people. That's how they become rich. That's why Sir John Templeton thinks of wealth, the inner wealth of money, as a spiritual process, because all you want to do is serve as many people as you can. I found many employees and self-employed who are the most greedy of all. They say, well, I'm not going to work unless you pay me. Well, what's in it for me? Whereas to be a business owner, to be in network marketing business, you don't get paid unless you serve other people. It is really a great system. The only way a network marketing person becomes wealthy is by making other people wealthy first. And I love that process. I think that's why one of the beauties of network marketing businesses is it teaches people the true meaning of being generous and how to become wealthy by being generous.
We've been talking to Robert Kiyosaki about the 8 values of the network marketing business, and we'll be right back with more of these values.